Continuing to go from strength to strength thanks to stellar exclusives, immaculate hardware, and a ton of third-party support ranging from Doom to Star Wars Jedi Outcast, Nintendo's revolutionary Switch is a major return to form for a company that got a little too lost in gimmicks for about a decade. Playing on Switch just feels good, and whilst the motion control delights of the Wii and the cobbled-together experimentation of the Wii U were enjoyable enough, just look at every step of the Switch's rollout. The first year saw Zelda Breath of the Wild and Mario Odyssey. 2018 gave us Smash Bros, Splatoon 2, and Pokemon Let's Go. Then we had fun Victory Lap experiments like Nintendo Labo, a cardboard VR headset, and the brilliant Ring Fit Adventure. That said, in true Nintendo fashion, the Switch has just as many secrets as a Hyrulean landscape or a small English town being ravaged by an a-hole goose. Nintendo aren't ones to release a bog-standard console with no identity, and instead they've designed the Switch with just as much character as any of their first-party mascots. In terms of sheer momentum, this generation arguably belongs to Nintendo. The Japanese giant has regained its stature as one of the finest purveyors of digital entertainment available right now. Latest figures show almost 40 million of us are Switch owners, but I'd wager only a fraction of that figure know what the system can really do. I'm Scott from WhatCulture.com, and this is Nintendo Switch, 9 secret console features you totally missed. Number 9. Play with a fully supported GameCube controller. Part of an older firmware update created for what was then an unannounced Smash Bros. Sequel, Nintendo have barely said anything about how they provided full support for GameCube controllers. Now, there are a couple of ways to do this. First up, use either the Smash Bros. Adapter from the Wii U or the newer one released for Switch. This converts the GameCube connector to a USB fitting, and after it's been plugged in, head over to Controllers on the main menu, then change grip/order. From here, just hit L and R on your newly connected GameCube controller, and the Switch will recognize it, remapping all the requisite inputs accordingly. Best of all, unlike how the Wii U only supported GameCube controllers for Smash Bros, despite the newer adapters saying that they are designed for Smash Bros Ultimate, you can then play anything on Switch using this old-school controller. Note that you will be one trigger down for certain games that need all 4 shoulder buttons, but for the most part, it's some good old sweet squishy trigger goodness. Number 8. Remove your SD card to access captured pictures and videos. Maybe this thing's kinda obvious once you start thinking about it, although I totally didn't for literally years. All the various screenshots and videos you can take on the Switch are easily accessible from a removed SD card. Providing you're not reliant on the system's inbuilt memory and have told the Switch to save all your captures to an external device, go to System Settings, Manage Save Data/Screenshots, Manage Screenshots, and Save Location. Simply take the card out and put it in any other SD card reader. It works wonders if you're looking to export a batch of screenshots for PC/Mac backgrounds, or if you just want to edit some clips together for a YouTube upload. Just stick your removed SD card in any other device and the requisite images and clips will be ready and waiting. Number 7. You can press different buttons on the unlock screen for different sounds. Speaking of the GameCube from earlier, that system also had an array of different startup Easter eggs, depending on whether you were holding down the Z button on 1 or 4 controllers during the boot up sequence. On the Switch, there aren't any secret animations, but on the press the same button 3 times screen, don't hit the face buttons and instead use any of the following. Hitting ZL will give you a more mechanical click, ZR will give you a clown squeezy horn noise, click the left stick in for a low-pitched kind of frog thing, or click the right stick in for a rising 2-note chirp. Why do these exist? Because Nintendo, and because they want to put a smile on your face. Number 6. Use a Joy-Con as a Bluetooth controller on any other device. Unlike their formerly extremely unhelpful YouTube policy that once came crashing down on us for trying to do a review of Pokemon Sun and Moon, maybe one day you'll see it, but I highly doubt it, Nintendo's console plays very well with others. Simply detach either of the Joy-Cons and you'll see. First, look to the black top rail of a side-held Joy-Con and hit the very small black button to put the controller in pairing mode. Now, on any device that can search for and pair with a Bluetooth controller, begin looking and you'll see a Joy-Con L or Joy-Con R system ready to connect. Do this and you've got a very portable, very snug and supremely well-made controller for any mobile games or just to use alongside a PC or Mac emulator collection. The only knockback comes from a sideways Joy-Con losing a row of shoulder buttons, but it's perfect for wider NES, SNES, Game Boy Advance, etc. game libraries if you didn't nab the classic consoles or have Nintendo Switch Online. To repair with the Switch, just disconnect from the device at hand and slot the Joy-Con back onto the main console tablet. The Switch will auto-pair and assign left or right without the need for reconfiguration. Number 5. You can use wireless USB headphones. Now the jury's out as to whether Bluetooth headsets are better than USB if we're really crunching audio packets and the crispness of signal quality. However, the Switch does support wireless USB headphones. Bluetooth users will have to keep waiting, but simply plug your USB dongle into the side of the Switch's dock, and that's it. No other setup required. You should see a small USB volume bar in the top left corner denoting that they are connected, and all audio will then be beamed to your headphones rather than the system. Interestingly, this also works in portable mode, though you'll need a USB to USB-C adapter to plug the dongle straight into the bottom of the Switch tablet. Number 4. The Switch dock supports USB keyboards. If you're one of those absolute maniacs, also called a Rich Hudson, that insists on buying as many accessories for a given console as possible, you might have stumbled into the weird situation that exists with keyboards on Switch, where third-party companies have made a bunch of Bluetooth versions with caveats. One even doubles as the middle of a Joy-Con so you can slide the controllers on the side. A far more reliable idea overall is sticking to USB. Though you can't assign shortcuts or use a USB keyboard for anything other than when a virtual keyboard is on screen, it helps a ton in the eShop, not to mention online text chat in games like Rocket League, Fortnite, Overwatch, etc. Number 3. Turn on your TV automatically. Chances are you've acquired quite the media center of various consoles, a big old TV and maybe a Blu-ray player on the side. All of these can be vying for control at any given time, and it's given rise to many systems, like the PS4 and Xbox One, having the ability to control your TV to ensure that their signal appears first. To get your TV and Switch playing nicely together, head into the system settings, TV settings, and set Match TV Power State to on. This way, next time your TV is on standby and you turn on your Switch, it'll boot the TV up alongside and light up in unison. Also, as a note, the Switch does tell you on this menu that not all TVs support being hijacked by external devices. So if you're one of those unlucky people and your set just doesn't come on, chances are it's down to the TV's model type. Number 2. Charge other USB-C devices. This is a super quick tip, as although your Switch is likely to be the first thing that's going to run out of battery, sometimes a phone call is slightly more important than another game of Smash. Slightly. Thanks to Nintendo coding the Switch to talk to various other devices when it's plugged in, connecting the tablet to a phone or laptop using a USB-C to USB cable will see the other device draw power from the console. This essentially turns your Switch into a portable battery pack, and if you find yourself caught short on a trip or want to prioritize work over nabbing another moon in Mario Odyssey, you fool, just go for it. And number 1, an incredibly touching tribute to Satoru Iwata. Let's end on the sweetest, most lovable, most heartbreaking thing that you'll probably hear all day. Now, everything I'm about to describe was sadly taken out of the system after a 4-month window between September and December 2017, but the story behind it is fantastic, and I just have to tell you because this was lovely. So, between all of these aforementioned months, any Switches bought back in 2017 included a copy of 1984's NES classic, Golf, buried inside the system's code. The game literally lived within the heart of every system for a very special reason. Golf was coded by Nintendo's dearly missed Satoru Iwata, and you could access it in a way that was masterfully handled. First, the console's clock had to be set to July 11th, the day that Iwata passed away in 2015. Then you'd go back to the main menu, hold a Joy-Con in each hand, and mimic Iwata's legendary direct-to-you sign-off motion, the one that involved pushing both hands forward at the same time. Get this right, and a soundbite from Iwata himself would say chokusetsu, meaning direct, booting you into the game Golf, where you can play as many 1- or 2-player rounds as you like. Best of all, Nintendo even went back and coded motion controls for each swing, letting Iwata's work live in a whole new way for a whole new generation of players, providing they knew how to unlock it. Besides feeling what Wii Sports might have looked like back in the 80s, this is easily one of my favorite ways to honor any fallen figure in gaming. Now, in terms of why the feature went away, you need to look to the notion of an omamori, a term given to Japanese Shinto amulets that are also thought of as charms, in honor of various revered spirits. Omamori are replaced at the turn of every year, explaining the December removal date, and are largely thought of as items that serve their time with the person in possession of them before moving on. Golf being inside the Switch was heralded by many Japanese gamers as Satoru Iwata's omamori, and after his spirit had blessed the system, it was over to all the players and the console to do the rest. Yes, Nintendo really did put this much thought into the launch of their latest piece of hardware. I'm not crying, you're crying. And that's just 9 console features from what I think is one of the best systems currently on the market. Let me know your own favorites down in the comments below if there's anything that I missed, and please check out the WhatCulture Gaming Podcast. For now, I've been Scott from WhatCulture.com, and I'll catch you soon.